welcome back to Manc Pod. This is part 2, following on from the previous episode, but this is episode 9. If you don't already follow all our socials, you can follow us on Instagram, TikTok, Spotify, and YouTube. So please don't miss out.
Let's get into it.
Yeah,
so Bonnie Blue.
Yeah,
Bonnie
so,
Blue.
So in part 1, we started talking about OnlyFans.
We did.
And Bonnie Blue.
We did.
Bonnie Blue has recently slept with 1,000 people, breaking all the world records.
Over 1,000 people. And apparently there's another girl who's kind of gone mad because she thought she broke that world record.
Is it this Lily person?
Yeah. I mean, what a world record to break. But I think I was just saying in the last pod, like, do we talk about her? Don't we talk about her? Here we are talking about her anyway.
Can you imagine being the last person in that queue? I don't know why 1,028 people or whatever the random number was would want to wait a bazillion hours.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things, and
poor girl must have been knocking back energy drinks like no tomorrow.
I know. I honestly think that saying, men are from Mars, women are from Venus, couldn't be more true. Because for men, I feel like it's, well, he's done it, so I want to do it. And I want to say that I've slept with Bonnie Blue, like, haha, I can't wait to tell the lads. Whereas women, if there was a bloke doing that, and a bloke had slept with 1,000, there'd be no queue. Because you do not, as a woman, want to turn around and go, I slept with, even David Beckham, we all fancy him, but if he had a queue of 900 women, I'm not being 901, boo. Like, it's not happening.
I just think it's just a really bizarre concept. I mean, obviously, if you can make money doing that, then you do you, boo.
Yeah.
We are very proud of you if you are willing to go to those extreme lengths to make some serious cash.
Yeah, and she's making serious cash. The other day in our WhatsApp group, people were chatting about Bonnie Blue.
Who watches 1,028 people shag?
Well, apparently,
do you know what I mean? Like, what that video, is that going to be like 5 seconds of each one or 1 second of each one and then it all completed?
I mean, it's a lot of content, so...
That's a lot of fucking content.
Who's editing that?
Oh my God, no. Absolutely not.
It's not you.
No, it takes you too long to get it.
I know.
But it gets a bit choppy in the middle. It's because it was me. I'm sorry, guys.
But yeah, I messaged in our girls group the other day and said, because the girls were going on about Bonnie Blue and like, oh, she's this, she's that, disgusting, da-da-da. And I was like, have I missed something here? Like, what are we actually hating on? Because this girl is laughing all the way to the bank.
Yes,
literally. She made something like 3 million in her first year.
It's a family business now.
Yeah, so what is the issue? And then what came about is, obviously I've not done enough research on this, but what came about is the things she says. Yes. That's what women are having issues with.
She's not a girl's girl, and she's very blatant at that,
yeah, because she's saying things like, if your man's sleeping with me, you're not doing enough at home to please him.
Yeah.
And it's those types of things that are getting on women's skin, which I absolutely get.
Yeah.
My question was, what have I missed? Like, if this girl if she is using her body as a business, who are we to judge? Who are we to turn around and say, ooh, that's disgusting? Babes, she's making millions and millions of pounds. Yeah. Like,
it's a massive sacrifice. And whether she's 70 years old and she'll regret it, I don't know. You don't know. Any press, good or bad, is still press. And I think anyone that's talking about Bonnie Blue, e.g. us right now, is still going to be driving people to her Instagram, to her OnlyFans, to her in all her socials. Like, I think even just mentioning her name, it just seems to get lots of hits, isn't it? And I think, like, good on her. Like, if she's making money from it, then why not?
Yeah. So Bonnie, if you're listening, please could you do the same for us?
Give us a shout out, hon. Come on.
But yeah, it's a really, really interesting one. Yeah. I feel like every woman that I've spoken to about Bonnie Blue is not a Bonnie Blue fan, and
I don't mind her. She doesn't bother me. I think it's very clever and very funny, but mostly clever. The fact that she's like, oh, do you want to check if your husband's cheated on you with me? Well, then, haha, you're gonna have to pay me to find out. And I think that's actually really fucking clever. That is clever.
Right. This was my thing, that people were like, oh yeah, well, she's sleeping with people's husbands, with people's sons, da da da. She is not the problem in that situation.
Yeah.
Bonnie Blue is not the situation if your husband is sleeping with her. No. She is not knocking on your door being like, come here and bend over. She's not doing that.
No, your husband, she's like open for business.
Yeah, she's open for business. She's telling you what hotel she's in. Then your husband, your son, your brother, whoever it is, they are getting in their car with their mates probably. Yeah. They're driving down to the motel on the M6.
The Airbnb.
And they are queuing up. And they are then waiting in line. So they have a lot of time to decide, you know what, I probably shouldn't do this. Yeah. They have a lot of time to decide, no, I'm not going to do this, but they don't. Why is that Bonnie Blue's fault? Like, it's absolutely not her fault.
I think from my perspective, like, not from my perspective, but I just think like, in terms of like cleanliness and hygiene, that is a worry.
Yeah, I mean,
because I think like once you get to like, well, even like 10 men, it's like going to be hair everywhere.
Oh yeah, and also like we're getting into the nitty gritty now, but like if I was a man, I don't know under that kind of pressure whether I'm going to perform. Yeah. As in, I'm not worried about me as Bonnie Blue performing.
10 seconds and you're done, babes.
Yeah,
that's probably a good thing.
But
though.
Are you? I don't think so. I think a lot of men, under that pressure, they'll see her and then they get nervous because they know there's a camera and they know that there's going to be millions of people watching this video. Are you going to be able to...
Well, they've signed a consent form. They've queued for 5 hours. They've had 5 hours or 23 hours.
To build themselves up.
To build themselves up, to think about it, to get food delivery ordered, coffees ordered.
I bet they're all there with the
sign
dominoes.
A consent form, give them the driving licence to prove that they're overage, and took the energy to walk up the stairs to go wherever the bloody room is. Yeah. So I think by that point, hon, I think you're far past being nervous. I think you've already done, dusted.
I know. I feel like what a big issue was the fact that she was going to like universities and getting uni. Well, she wasn't getting them to sleep with her. They were wanting to sleep with her and she was offering that service. And a lot of parents were saying, but that's my son. Like, but I'm sorry, but like Bonnie said, if they are 18... That is their choice. Sorry, 16 plus. Like, yeah.
16 plus? Well, it's 18.
I don't know, but you can have sex from 16.
Australia. Yeah, but I think it was like freshers. It was like university.
Oh, university students. Yeah, sorry. But if you are over 16, legally in the UK.
What do they call them in Australia? I think they call them something.
I don't know. It's Australian.
So she went to Australia. That's what caused the controversy. Right. She flew. She posted on her Instagram. She said that she flew to Australia with a big sign saying, basically, fuck me for free, and then basically said that the terms and conditions was that she can film it and post it, and it basically had this big cardboard cutout saying fuck me for free. Yeah. And she was walking around in the most cutest outfit.
Yeah, it's actually looked gorgeous, didn't
this
she?
little hot tennis outfit, the tennis skirt, and I just think like, what the hell, but fair dues to you.
Yeah,
like,
but I think that these...
If you're an 18, 19, 20-year-old, 21-year-old, you are a very hot, red-blooded male.
Exactly, but
you just
even if you are 16, 17, like in the UK, you can have sex from 16 years old. You can. And that is scary because to me now, a 16-year-old is a child.
Any 16-year-old, right or wrongly, could go into the streets and find a prostitute because they're 16.
They absolutely could. And this is the thing, when you're like, but you're my son, and he doesn't have the right head on him to say yes or no, but if he's old enough to do it, like, that's not Bonnie's fault, it's the law. Yeah. Like, the law needs to change. If you have an issue with it, then the law needs to change, not Bonnie. Yeah. And whether you agree with what she does or not, she's not the one who goes,
she's not breaking any rules.
She's not going, you have to be 16 years old plus. Like, can I check your ID? Can I check that it's real? Like, you know, she does the consent forms.
If you had an 18-year-old son, would you let him sleep with her?
I don't want to know.
That's what I mean. I think ignorance is bliss. I mean, what they do in their business is their business.
Yes.
Like, who actually asks their son, unless you're a man talking to a man, which is most likely because you're boasting about it.
You're probably both queuing up together.
Probably, yeah. In fact, she actually did with a dad and a son, which is wild. And then they went home and had tea with the wife. Oh, no, thank you.
I wonder if there are any wives out there that are going, go on then. Go on.
It saves me a job. It saves me a job. I don't have to do anything.
Like, it's Bonnie Blue. Go on. Yeah. Like, I know you want to. I'd rather give you consent to go and do it. Have your 5 minutes, then you do it behind my back. I wonder if there's any women out there. If you're one of those women, let us know.
Probably.
Yeah.
Some people just can't be. When you get to like your 50s or whatever, maybe some people just can't be.
Do you know what though? I think it's different. I honestly think when you get to your 50s plus, I think you get a whole new lease of life.
Do you?
I do.
That's what the swingers are though, isn't it?
I think that it's maybe in your 30s, 40s where your sex drive
Ramps back up again.
dies down, because a lot of women at their age have young kids, have busy careers, busy lives. They don't have time.
Focusing on themselves for a little while.
They don't have time to be humping and bumping.
No.
They don't. When they get home from, you know, an 8-hour day, fed the kids, fed the man, done all the, you know, the housey bits, all of that. They're then not thinking, let's get to it. Exactly. However, when you get to 50 odd and maybe your kids are grown up and there's grandkids, but you can pick and choose.
Yeah.
I think it's that 50 plus, maybe when they've maybe come outside the menopause, maybe in the menopause, don't know. But I think when they come off the back, maybe that's when they're like, oh, because I know some older women, more mature women, gorgeous women that are ready for it.
Really?
Day or night.
To be fair though, I can see it because in the Beverly Hills housewives, they're like raunchy. They're like ready to.
They're ready to go.
Literally. But I suppose that's why you get a lot of cougars, isn't it?
That new lease of life. I think maybe you go through that whole reflecting on life, like, oh my God, how have I gotten to 55?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, like I was 21 a minute ago.
Yeah.
And you
do you think there's a lot of people that are now single in the 50s now, though?
Yeah, but I think, again, it goes down to, you do a lot of reflecting in your 50s, maybe even in your late 40s, you know, your kids are growing up, and all of a sudden you're going, who am I?
Yeah.
I've been a mum for 20 years. My child's moved out, my children have moved out, or I've been in the same marriage for 25 years.
Yeah.
Do I still love this person? We're both completely different people now. You know, I'm looking to maybe retire in the next 5-10 years. What do I want to do with my life? Am I happy? I can imagine that is mental for your brain.
Yeah, it's wild.
So then, people go, do you know what? I'm not happy. I'm not going to spend the next 30 years in an unhappy marriage.
Yeah.
So see you later, hon. Or people go, oh my God, like, let's go together as a team. Let's go travel the world. Let's go and bring up our grandkids. Let's do whatever you want to do.
As you grow older, you do grow into different people.
You do.
And it's whether you would try and you still remain as a team or whether you grow apart, because I think a lot of people do tend to grow apart. But I think fighting for something when you've been with someone for 30 years, that's worth fighting for.
Yeah, I think so. And I also think that all that work starts now.
Yeah.
Looking at older people now, more mature, and looking at maybe failed marriages and relationships. And, you know, sometimes it's meant to be, but I think that you can't just get into a relationship and get into a marriage and go, okay, well, we've signed a piece of paper, so now you've got to make it work.
Yeah.
We've got to love one another forever. I have to do this for you. You have to do this for me. No, it's about constantly committing to going, whatever life's throwing at you, let's make time for one another.
Yeah.
Let's, when I can't give when I can only give 20%, you try and give 80. And let's talk about that when you can only give 20% and I can only give 20%.
Communication goes amiss though once you start adding kids and busy lifestyles.
I know, but I just don't think it necessarily has to. No, obviously, I don't have kids, so I don't know, and I'm sure there's days.
I think you're preempting it though, because obviously you don't want to get yourself in that rut, so you're trying to stop that from happening by working hard now to build those foundations.
Exactly, to go right. This and this is potentially what we've got to come. It's gonna be tough. It's gonna be hard. How can we put something in place? And fortunately for me, I have 5 brothers and sisters and the most amazing mum.
Yeah.
And I know for a fact that if I ever did have a child, they would absolutely love it.
Yeah.
Not everyone's got that. You know, some people are only children with maybe elderly parents or parents that are no longer here. More thought has to go into that because, you know, they might not have a job where they can pay for childcare. You need a good
network around.
You definitely do. But again, it's doing that now and going, who is this network? Who am I giving and who is giving back to me? Who is serving me and can serve me in my life at that point? And it's looking at that now, so then you can carry on in those times building those relationships and being able to go, I want this to work forever. When me and Jamie got married, I was genuinely like, it meant so much to me at that time. And I remember crying there because I genuinely meant it, for better or for worse, sickness and in health, we're going to make this work.
Yeah.
And, you know, fingers crossed we do, but I'm really determined to put the effort in to make it work through the good, through the bad.
Like you say, it's the grass is green where you water it, isn't it? And I think you've got to, when you've been with someone for such a long time, you've got to keep things spicy, go on date nights, go out, go dress up, go
just think about each other, put one another first. It is not all about me.
Yeah.
As much as it would be nice, it's not all about me and it's not all about him.
Yeah.
It's about both of us and how can we make each other happy?
Yeah.
And what can I do for that person which I know they would love even if I don't?
Yeah.
And what can they do for me? And if you can do that, surely you're building yourself up for success.
Yeah,
Successful relationship.
Well, talking about Bonnie Blue, OnlyFans, relationships.
Yes.
We wanted to cover a very big topic,
Yeah.
which is sex toys.
Sex toys.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I've been thinking about this, okay, and I don't know about you and what your thoughts are on this, but do you think that men actually like sex toys, as in using sex toys on you?
Yeah.
Or do you think some men feel like sex toys replace them and would rather not have them around?
I would see it as it does the job for them almost.
Yeah, but is that what a man wants? Does a man want...
Yeah, because they just want to hit it and quit it, right?
I don't know. I personally think the latter.
Do you?
I think, not all men, but I definitely think some men feel like...
we haven't had this conversation with men. So we'd love to know.
But we do know a lot of our viewers are men. So let us know what you think.
Yeah, I know from the bloody follows that we've had recently.
Yeah. But we love our men and we love our women. So whoever it is, keep following.
Hopefully you got some insight, guys.
Yeah, if you definitely, like, let us know and try and be honest with us, because I think honesty is key.
Yeah.
I definitely feel like some men out there do feel like, well, that's taking away my job. And especially if you can, get the job done quicker than you could with your man.
Yeah.
Is that then replacing them? Is that saying, actually, this is better than you because I managed to get to that point within 3 minutes instead of 20 minutes?
Well,
and it took
because
you 20 minutes to get me to that point.
Well, I mean, it's machinery, so obviously it's going to do the job a lot quicker. But also, I think you've already got that foundation in your relationship and your partner knows your body inside and out, and vice versa.
Yeah.
So I'd like to think that still happens. It's just that sometimes, obviously, you don't want to use that all the time.
Yeah.
So sometimes when you've not really got the time to be able to do hanky-panky, then obviously you're going to use other things to help assist with that.
Yeah. And I totally get that. But I'm just interested to see what men's thoughts are, because I do think that some men absolutely love it and just want to get them involved in every session.
Every single time,
but I think there's a lot of men that also, if they were very honest, would maybe be like, do you know what, I actually just feel a little bit, not intimidated by them, but I want to get you to that point by myself, and I want to know that I am good enough to get you to that point.
I think that's all about open communication.
Yeah.
I think obviously if you have that sort of relationship with your partner, you can turn around to them and say, actually, babe, can we try not use it this time?
But I also think as well that it's completely different, isn't it? Because if you're using a sex toy, it usually is because you want a quick one. You just want to get it done.
Yeah.
Whereas part of having sex, for me anyway, sorry mum, is it's like a process. It's being connected, and it's having it's the body, and I want it to take a bit longer. I don't want it to be done in 2 minutes, So I think both have their requirements.
I think obviously it just depends, doesn't it? Like I say, obviously you're not going to be doing the quick one every time.
Yeah, sometimes
it's just every now and again.
Yeah,
but it's just like if you just need to
you're just feeling it.
Yeah.
I think sometimes, and maybe it's me, but I feel like a lot of girls these days are really in touch with the cycle and know where they're feeling. But for me, in my follicular phase, which is the first 2 weeks after your period, I am feeling good. I'm feeling my skin is good. I'm feeling energized. I'm up for it.
Yeah.
Pretty much any time. You could probably get me
It's
going.
got a 2 week window.
Relatively, not like quickly. However, the moment that I've ovulated and I head into my luteal phase, which is then the next 2 weeks before your period,
do not touch me.
And in that instance, bring the bad boys out, because you're gonna need some help, probably. Or maybe. Just, it's gonna take me a little bit longer to maybe get to where I need to be for us to go for it. So I don't know about other women and whether other women feel like that too, but I definitely feel my cycle is really, really, it determines whether or not we're going to be able to get into it quick or whether you're going to need some assistance.
I think, I can't even remember when or, obviously I would never say who anyway, but who it was. But I remember speaking to someone, they said that they've never been able to.
Yeah.
Never, ever been able to climb out.
Which blows my mind, because then maybe they need a sex toy.
But they've tried them. And they said that they still haven't been able
Where
to.
are they putting it?
So then to me, that says you are stressed out, you are not getting enough sleep, you're not eating the right foods.
Definitely.
But obviously, I think it's everyone's different, aren't they? Everyone's bodies are different.
Yeah. Maybe they're putting it on the belly button or something, because that sounds weird.
Using it wrong now.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I definitely think it's an interesting topic.
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to be taking men's jobs. Although I think maybe that's why people are a lot happier single these days.
Yeah.
Which I get.
Some of the products out there, like, I'm not gonna lie, I'm not like massive on them.
No.
Like, you know,
Same.
Take it or leave it. Yeah, you know. But yeah, I think you might be right. You know, women don't need a man to, you know, get the job done.
No.
And they can get it done much quicker.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah.
And I think that, like, speaking of sex toys, I want to move on to something else that actually was talking to someone else about the other day. And I came across a woman on Instagram who is selling her tights that she's just worn for like 500 quid.
Yeah. So it basically brings us on to what would you do for money?
Yeah, what would you do for money? Like,
yeah.
What lengths would you go to make a quick?
It would depend how much for a lot of things. But we've got to be realistic here if we're asking this question.
I mean, I'd wear tights.
Same.
Babes, if I went to M&S or Primark even and put on some tights and wore them all day and then posted them out the next day. However, sorry, something else has just come to mind.
Go on.
What if a crime was committed and they left your tights at the scene? That's got your DNA on it.
I mean, that is deep.
Yeah, but it could happen.
No.
Do you not think like there's a woman on GMTV
You're
the other
overthinking
day.
it.
No, there's a woman the other day and she was selling her own sweat.
Yeah.
Selling her own sweat.
Yeah, I mean, if that's what you want and you're going to pay for it.
Great, but
yeah.
how much do you actually sweat?
Well, I'd make myself sweat. I would be
in a sauna.
Yeah.
With a bin bag on.
Absolutely.
Skipping.
Yeah.
It's the only way.
Bikram yoga.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, can you imagine Bikram yoga? How much you'd bottled up?
Yeah.
Sell it for.
Yeah. I mean, listen, I'm game.
Listen, if the demand is there and people are willing to pay for it.
But how much? So this is the thing. So a pair of tights.
Yeah.
How much?
Well, I think she was posting, she made like 500 quid obviously on multiple pairs of tights. I think they were at £80 a pair.
Okay.
I'd wear a pair of tights for 80 quid.
Same. 80 quid.
Would, yeah.
Yeah.
Sweat. She didn't actually say, I think she actually did say, but I can't remember what it was.
I want to know what they're doing with the sweat.
Me too.
So when you get your little, how much sweat firstly? So
it evaporates.
Is it a jam jar of sweat? Is it a little, you know,
I think it's like a little bottle
of
like,
sweat?
You know, like a little
so when it gets
message.
there, obviously my brain instantly goes like, if you're going online to buy someone's sweat, I'm thinking you're a kind of person that has a kind of kink. And I'm thinking they're going to pour it on themselves or they're going to drink it or, can you imagine?
I don't think you were going to say drink it, to be fair.
Yeah, but people are weird.
Yeah.
Okay, foot pics.
No, but weirdness is accepted. It's like, it's fine, but obviously it's just not
Yeah, you
what
do
we're
you
into.
to a certain extent.
But obviously, I just think that like, why is there a demand? Why?
Exactly.
I want to know.
Exactly. But
yeah, foot pics.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I actually, I met with someone the other week who actually knows someone who sells foot pics for a living and makes a killing out of it.
Okay.
So whenever she goes on holiday, she apparently takes loads of photos of her feet in like different shoes, different like backgrounds, in the sea, in the sand, on the sun lounges, like all over the place, banks them all, and then just sells them when she gets back.
How much?
I don't know.
Okay, but how much would you do it for? A foot pic?
I don't know, probably 80 quid, 100 quid.
Yeah.
This is like, at least with the feet pics, there's no DNA.
I mean, you're getting into like crime drama territory. Like, it's not happening. No, Joe Bloggs, who is buying your foot pic, is not going out murdering someone.
They might do.
No, but he's not. Listen, if you're going down there, you shouldn't be selling your feet pics or your tights. You need to relax.
You don't want to give your DNA to someone. If you can do it with foot pics, at least you can do it anonymously.
Yeah, but even if you give your DNA to someone, hopefully they'll clean. You know, they'll pop the tights in the wash or something. And even if your DNA was left at the scene, like a random pair of tights, the police are going to give you a call. There's a pair of tights in Joe Blogg's house. Yeah, sell them. Can you prove it? Yeah, show them the bank transaction.
Yeah, that's a good shout.
You've got your evidence. Like, you're not going around there being like, I'll commit the murder with you.
Yeah, but it means that, like, could you not just get someone to buy your tights from you and then commit a murder?
Yeah, but you're still going to have that transaction.
Yeah,
unless they're paying
else
cash.
Buying for it, but buying them.
Yeah, exactly. So if someone else is buying them from you, you're going to have evidence.
Anyway, moving on, because I'm getting a bit too deep into the whole, thing.
Do not be selling anything, because I can't be arsed with the trauma off the back.
I'd have a nervous breakdown.
Overthinking. Oh my God, I sold a pair of tights 10 years ago, and what if that person has committed a murder?
I'm spiraling.
Oh my God, yeah, no.
To be honest, I have worn a pair of tights and laddered them and thrown them in the bin, so they could be anywhere right now.
This is what
I could have got 80 quid for them.
Exactly. Our DNA is all over the world, honey.
All right, speak for yourself, hon. Next one is, how much would you get or want for someone to shit on your chest or on your stomach?
It's gonna be a lot, because I don't like that.
You hate poo. She hates poo. Reasons why we don't talk about poo on the pod is because Grace hates poo.
Yeah, because I don't do it. I'm a female.
She's such a princess.
Yeah, I'm a female.
Everyone poos and farts.
Not me.
Yes.
I'm just a little bit of fairy dust.
I can imagine a bit of like pink smoke coming out of your bum.
Yeah, like we don't need to talk about it. Like, if you do it, it's like just farting away. Why would you do it?
Yeah.
I mean, I did see a meme the other day, and it said, if you don't find farts funny, then you're not a joyful, happy person. And I was like,
you find them dirty.
Just disgusting.
Yeah.
Like, you know, if you want to do it in your...
If someone does a good one, I'll be like, congratulations.
No. Why are you doing a good one anywhere?
I'll clap for you.
No, it's disgusting. Yeah. Like, when people are in the toilet and you walk past and you hear...
Oh, fanny farts.
Ew, no. Stop it.
It depends if it's a front bum or a back bum. You saw a queef from the front and a fart from the back.
Both horrible.
Has anyone else heard that? Has anyone else heard queef?
I think queef is a thing. Yeah, but... Yeah. Anyway, it would cut a lot of money. But if I'm being realistic, how much?
Put a tag on it.
I've got a couple more questions, and I know it's meant to be a bit more quickfire than this, but I need to know, is it going to be recorded and put online?
No.
And who's going to know about it? Is it just you and the pooer?
Unless they tell someone, yeah.
Unless they tell someone. Do I know the pooer?
No.
No, it's just some random.
Someone's willing to pay you.
And is it just the once, just the one poo?
Just the one poo. But I've had a whopping curry the day before.
Stop it. Can I wash myself immediately?
Yes, you can do whatever you want, mate. But once he's eaten and he's going for it, he's going to squat. You've got to lie down on the floor and he's going to squat on top of you.
I'm going to need a bit of cash for that, because I have to live with that memory. And I've been being really as realistic as possible about this situation. And I actually think if someone came, I'd have to say 10 grand.
Is that it?
Yeah. I'm being realistic.
I'm not being realistic, babe. You are fucking pay me a million.
No,
so if you want to shit,
stop it.
Someone to shit on you after a curry.
Yeah, but on my chest. And you didn't say anything about not having a peg on my nose or a bag over my head.
No, I don't care about any of that stuff.
No, but I'm saying, right, realistically, if someone came and gave me 10 grand and literally turned up at my door and said, listen, I'm going to poo on your chest, but I'm going to give you 10 grand right now. No one's going to know about it. It's going to be quick. It's going to be over in 2 minutes. Here's 10 grand.
It might take him a little while to get it out.
No, but that wasn't part of the rules. That was not part of the rules. You said literally in and out. Listen, we're off to Barbados in a couple of months. I have no job. I need
Someone
to pay
come and shit on Grace.
No, but give me 10 grand, you can shit away. Only for 2 seconds. But this is the thing.
I definitely, because you're so afraid of poo, I definitely think it was going to be a higher price, like 20 grand, 30 grand, 40 grand, anything, but 10 grand.
Yeah, but I'm trying, this is the thing with people. Okay. I feel like people will instantly go, oh my God, $1 million. And I actually think, no, if someone came to you with hard cash and said, I'm going to poo on you, here's the cash. Okay. Like 10 grand. We want a garden room outside. Calling that 10 grand.
Yeah,
free.
True.
Done just for someone pooping on me. And even though I don't like
just in time for summer.
Exactly. Just in time for our Ibiza trip, bang, paid for, and all the girls.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to clip this up so that we can put it on the Instagram and I can start pimping you out, ready for your holiday to Barbados. So if you're listening and you want to pay someone for the done deed, please apply within.
Obviously,
I'm the agent. I get a cut.
Costs you a lot less to poo on me than it does on Liv, apparently. So definitely.
I'm not a cheapskate.
So what about you?
What, if someone just shit on me?
Yeah.
Like I said, I have a mill.
A mil.
I'm not having. I don't want shit and someone else's shit anywhere near me.
A mil.
No, I don't want
Stop
it near
it.
me. No, absolutely
no.
not.
I don't believe you.
And I don't mind poo.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen a human poo?
No, I haven't.
When you've been camping, I've seen a human poo and it scared the living shit out of me.
Literally.
Pardon the pun. But literally, honestly, they're quite big poos, human poos.
But you didn't say the age of this person.
Doesn't really matter the age of this person. It's got to be a man. It's got to obviously be over 18.
I mean, it's
a full-grown man.
Yeah, I mean,
having a turd.
Maybe it is 20, 30 grand realistically.
Yeah.
Like if someone actually came to me with a curry. I think it would depend on their face and stuff as well. There's a lot of factors to this. Like,
so basically, what would you do? What is there a limit to what you would do?
For money.
Because that's definitely something that you would never, ever, 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 ever want to talk about, let alone do it.
Never.
So what would you do for money?
Yeah. What about weeing on you?
No.
How much?
I'd probably do that for 10 grand.
10 grand?
Yeah.
And they'd not had water for a week?
It depends how clean they are.
Yeah, exactly. There's so many factors.
I'm just really funny about hygiene. I'm really scared of germs, but
yeah. I mean, I feel like there's so many what would you do for money questions.
Yeah.
But please send them in and maybe we could do a little Q&A.
Yes.
We'll do maybe
please.
What would you do for money? And then you can maybe ask us what we would do and how much for, and we can let you know, maybe 100%. Vice versa. We'll ask you guys. And maybe we can do a little poll thing on Instagram.
Yeah, 100%.
Literally before we go, I don't know whether it totally changes topic, but someone mentioned to me that on all our videos, we do a millennial pause.
What's a millennial pause?
Well, it's apparently we do it all the time, but basically you start a video and you pause and then you go, hi guys, welcome to da-da-da-da-da. And it's the pause before you start. So apparently it's a thing like people don't do it these days. People literally go, but I think
it's like TikTok, isn't it? TikTok is like ruining that for everyone.
Yeah.
You've got, so we are, from a young age, we have had instilled in us and everyone that's listening to this pod that also works in TV, that we never, ever, ever do jump cuts. Never. Never. Hence why we do close-ups, wide shots, mid shots, etc. However, TikTok has changed the world forever and now jump cuts is a thing. Speaking and recording at the same time is a thing. There's no room for breath. You've got 10 seconds to impress people or not. Yeah. And I think that is just not how we're wired because we're TV people.
It's not
TikTokers.
Exactly. When you're on studio floor and you all get comms, so like walkie-talkies, and I mean now everyone just communicates on WhatsApp, but that's kind of what you do. You get walkie-talkies and the whole thing is press the button, wait a second and then talk. Because the amount of people that press a button and then start talking.
Too soon.
And then you're half a sentence missing and then you're having to say, what's that? But everyone else on the studio floor can hear you, whoever's tuned into that frequency. Yeah. So just part and parcel is you record, you get yourself in position and then you start. Yeah. But it's apparently a millennial pause. And apparently we do it on most of our videos. Okay. And I imagine other millennials do it, hence why it's called the millennial pause. So listen, we'll try.
If you see some more pauses chopped out and it's like blah, 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 it's because
we can't millennial
taking them out because we're old. And if you see random shots just randomly cut together, it's because we're old, okay?
Yeah, and also I hope that you have loved our new setup because we've got a cute little setup now.
We've changed the vibes.
We've changed the vibes. We wanted to mix it up because again, we take all your feedback on board. Yes. And someone said to me, you need to move that table out the way. It's in the way.
It is a bit obstructive. However, it did hide a lot of sins.
It did. So now you have a full view. So if you don't like it,
enjoy.
Whatever. Yeah. But so maybe, let us know if you prefer this, if you prefer us on the kitchen table, on the kitchen bench, if you prefer us that way, whatever position you want us in, we'll get in it.
This is the right episode. Tell us.
10 grand.
Yeah, absolutely. Pay your price. That's it from us for now. If you don't already, please follow us on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube.
Yes, give us a follow, give us a like.
Yeah.
Please listen to us. Engage.
And don't forget about the competition. If you haven't already heard about it 5,000 times, please do. Make sure that you're liking, sharing, and tagging.
Yeah, we're halfway there on Instagram, so just another 250 to go, guys. Thanks,
All right,
love you.
Bye.